Meowdy, konnichiwa, hello, hello. Also, I'm pretty sure that Allegra has already left, but still, thank you for the raid. Hello, June. Be creative on a piece of paper? No, I'm quirky. You know, you just gotta be a little silly. Work with your different mediums. Oh, dang it, that command is still in there. Anyway, hello, everybody. I see that everyone is trying to delete themselves again with the D20. Oh, and thank you guys all for the follows. And don't mind the alerts being a little funky. I'm still kind of figuring out how to fix some things. And maybe making some more, but that's beside the point. Okay. Oh, I see. Anyway, we got one. Stop trying to delete yourselves. Oh, man. Was this about writing on a table? In my starting Zoom screen, there is a table, and then there is calligraphy written on the table. Heh. And you'll do it again. Oh, just try. Do it. Do it. I dare you. But, yeah. Welcome in. We're back with more Great Ace Attorney. I feel like I should probably mention that fact before things derail terribly. Dare you to do it? Well, daring Firestar to, you know, delete again. Oh, that was funny. Delete your messages without the D20? That's true. That's absolutely a fair fact. You do have that power. Delete it is. Oh my god, you guys. I mean, go for it. Let me just... actually go into the thing there. Vanish. Oh. Huh. I wonder if I should do something for that. That'd be neat. Regardless. You can delete everyone without the D20. Okay, don't let the power get to your head. But I think I should probably just go right in. As a recap, last time on The Great Ace Attorney, herlock sholmes got shot, and I'm very concerned. I did not like where that ended. And also, Lestrade was in a locked room. We got another locked room murder going on. So, you know, all things are great. Always, absolutely. Oh, yeah, no, we saw that last time, actually. Behind that door, in the store. Oh, wait, no. Was that Sholmes saying that? Might have been. Your first message was you rolling a 1. I'm so sorry. Well, speaking of ones that were rolled, it's Gina? Oh, I didn't notice last time. She has a gun in her hand. Uh-oh. Well, I'm sure she didn't do it, but we're gonna have a heck of a time proving that in court. Yeah, only a crow could fit through that window and do the deed. Definitely. From that moment, Windibank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. Oh, thank you for the follow. Also, I just realized I didn't introduce myself to raiders. Oops. Hi. I'm Sei Sou, VTuber voice actor. I'm real good at this. Oh man, I always have to forget something when I start stream. Anyway, it's just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. Oh, thank you, thank you. Artist Ven and Rigger Q did amazing, so check them out if you got the chance. Well. Ooh, thank you for the follow. 6:21 a.m. Oh, right, the child. Oh, Iris. Oh, right, we haven't told her. Oh, right. Yeah, on other news, we know that her dad is dead, and we just haven't told her, and it's... Oh, this is gonna blow up in our faces real bad. Especially since it's definitely gonna come out in the actual, like, trial. Well, I'm sure this will be a great conversation.
A telegram came, but all it said was, wait at home.
Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back. When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Bruno? Oh, that's some real timing. Poor Iris. She's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know. Oh yeah, are you gonna explain everything, including the possible reason why Gina went there in the first place? Something awful has happened, hasn't it? Yes, I'm afraid so. Oh boy. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windibank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning. Oh, yes, I had a feeling. You did? Well, I saw those police carriages pulling up outside his shop. So, I knew something must have happened there. When we entered Windibank's in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street, and I chased after them, but they got away. So, it was one of them who shot old Mr. Windibank, I suppose. I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment. Oh, why not? They've arrested someone. Okay, don't be vague. They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina. Ginny? But why? Well, the thing is... No! Ginny wouldn't do something like that! I know. None of us think she did it. Then why have they arrested her? I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. Well... So, where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? Oh man. He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals. Oh, this is awkward. Everything is crashing around this poor girl. Oh, God. I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to hospital this morning. What? Well, when we entered Windibank's, a gun was fired and he took the bullet. Hurley was shot? No! It's all right. His life isn't in danger. Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital? He's at St. Sinners? Oh, what a name for a hospital. They're tending to him there. I must see him. At once! I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't. Oh, come on. Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed. No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see. To operate? Oh, poor Hurley. Okay. It was the 2 thugs who were in Mr. Windibank's shop. They shot Mr. I really did just say Holmes. Okay. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them! Go! After that, I ran out onto the street, but... well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. To be fair, even if you caught up with them, they have a gun? I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that you would have been shot too. It's probably good that you didn't catch up with them. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away.
I think that's a very good thing.
Sorry?
Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased...
Oh, I think she's about to come to the same conclusion as me.
And chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Bruno. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that.
Oh, Iris.
Where's Susie, Bruno?
She's still at the police station.
Oh, why?
I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while. Oh, is she also gonna be a suspect? I really hope she's also not a suspect.
Why aren't you there then?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Miss Susato stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later. Oh no. Wait. Are they actually gonna think that she did it? Like, that Gina is the one who shot Windibanks and that Susato shot Sholmes? I really hope they don't think that, because, oh boy. She did make a joke about, oh man, I could totally get arrested now, my life is fulfilled, and it's like, oh boy, okay.
I see.
Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early.
You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station. I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair! What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they?
No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris.
This is all so horrible.
Thing is, Mr. Windibank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside.
I see.
But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well.
Oh no!
And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards...
Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room.
Yes, exactly. How did you know?
It's the only explanation.
Yes, the only explanation indeed.
What do you mean by that, Bruno? Well?
What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. Can we take her with us? Like, I don't feel comfortable leaving the 10-year-old alone when, like, all of this happened. Also, she's, like, really smart. I'm sure she'll figure out a way to get involved even if we don't let her. There's not much I can do at the moment. But I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on.
I want to go too. Take me with you, Bruno. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting.
I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder, but I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me?
Oh yes, I'd love to!
Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed.
And don't forget, we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation.
Ah, I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Yeah, that's probably for the best. We should go there first. Okay, let's go to... Oh, wow, we've got a lot of places. All right. Maybe don't buy a lottery ticket today. Or maybe do. It'll balance out. Actually, don't take that advice ever. Don't gamble, kids. It's not good for you. Probably. Okay, they finished operating then. Ward 3.
Hurley! Oh,
Did he leave?
he's not here.
No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she? He didn't jump out the window. He wouldn't. Right?
Oh, I know it's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not, there's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered.
Oh.
Hello, what have we here? Okay, I'm guessing that's the police. I can't believe they did that twice.
This ward is off limits. No visiting. So what are you doing in here, eh? Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin.
Oh. Well, begging your pardon then, ma'am. Sir? I don't think he faked getting shot, but I also believe that he definitely left. He escaped. Probably against doctor's orders. That seems correct. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. Great mystery solvers as a mysterious family, eh? If that's how you see us, sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley?
I believe he's currently in the operating theatre, ma'am. Undergoing an extensive operation.
Extensive?
It has been several hours since he went in. Oh, okay. Yikes.
Oh dear, is he going to be alright?
Well, doesn't appear to be working. Oh, that's not great. Okay. The anesthetic, that is.
Oh!
I've heard a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Does coffee get in the way of anesthetics? I mean, I guess it's technically a stimulant. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet. I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later?
Oh, poor Hurley.
Can we give the girl a hug? Like... What does this sign say? Ah, things I'm not allowed to know. There's a notice board on the wall here. Look, let's see. What does it say? Thought of the day. On seeing any vermin, calmly and discreetly inform matron.
Oh, yes, they have rats and mice in hospitals like this that love to feast on all the medicine. If you don't deal with them, there's nothing left to treat the patients.
Rats and mice? Oh, I see. I'm surprised that the rats and mice are eating the medicine? I don't imagine that would taste very good. Caffeine works by inhibiting your main inhibition nerve. Shouldn't affect consciousness, but... Oh, okay. Interesting. This is a rather old building, I suppose. Maybe it's kind of a side, like, reference to how, like, I almost said Sholmes. How, Sherlock Holmes, like, did drugs and stuff in the, I don't know, the original series. Maybe it's a weird roundabout reference. Morphine rats! Why all of our paper has a margin? No, I don't know, actually. I'm curious.
But the doctors and nurses are all very good, I hear.
They want to cure the rats and mice diseases with the medicine. I don't know if it'll work on them. It's people medicine. Certainly hope so, for Mr. Sholmes' sake. He'll be fine. He has an outfit for Great Ace Attorney 2 that I saw in the options menu. Therefore, he survives this game. Please let him survive this game. That's not what I meant to do. Yes, I know. There's nothing there. There's really not much to investigate in this room. Huh. Weird. Nope. Can't look at that either. I wonder what these are. Do you have any idea, Iris?
Oh, haven't you ever seen crutches before? Let me explain. They're for people with leg injuries to help them walk. You hold one under each arm, you see.
Ah, right. I thought they were weapons of some sort.
Why would there be weapons in a hospital?
I thought maybe a fighter had been injured in a battle contest and been brought here along with his weapons.
That's surprisingly plausible.
And okay, yeah, that's about all I can investigate here. Not a lot to do. All right.
We should visit Gina.
If his outfit was for a flashback because he said, oh no, I would be distressed. Well, they let her keep her jacket.
Thank you for the follow.
Hello, Gina. They let you keep your gun?! What the heck?! Maybe they didn't dare to, like, take it from her. I'm genuinely surprised they let her keep that.
Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made.
I mean, it only shoots smoke, but, like, it does shoot projectiles, and I think at close range, a face full of smoke is still gonna be, like, bad for you, right? I wish she wouldn't point it at me all the time, though.
What are you here for? Ginny.
I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So, we were thinking that we might be able to help you?
Well, you can't.
Sorry.
You would. Get lost. Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't.
You think you know me? Pull the other one.
Oh.
You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw me chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop at any day of the week. Just to see what I could lay me hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am.
But Ginny.
I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cov came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. Said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring at me any more obviously if she tried. She's a little bit of a tsundere. Just a little bit. She's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to the dinner with you guys. That's ridiculous. And then she just kind of showed up. So.
She's prickly. Why are you being like this, Ginny?
I wonder if she's trying to keep Iris out of the situation. Like, she's staring at us, so she's clearly trying to communicate to us that we should be representing her, but I think she just doesn't want to involve Iris in this. Which is fair, she's like 10. Alright. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away, rather?
He wanted me to sign some papers. Representation papers, or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway. The whole trial. They'll pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do. Why do you think that?
Because that's how it's always been for me. Growing up in the back slums. My whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, it'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers. Or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all. Been sold out and nearly snaffled on the back of it. Can't trust no one. That's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass. Dead. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could.
Forget it! Ginny! Don't you trust Bruno?
Nah, I don't. But you did hesitate. I mean, I wonder if she sent the lawyer away because they were trying to have her, like, sign an admission of guilt or something. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't doubt something like that happening. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. But what if we didn't? What if we continued to bug you? Like persistent gnats. What happened? Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night at the pawnbroker's. There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and you know the rest. Stop hiding what happened!
But why, Ginny? Why would you do that?
Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know. It's a lot of work, and half the time you don't even get nothing. Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else?
Oh, give it a rest! What'd be the point anyway, huh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Ginny. We'll believe you. Whatever it is.
Believe me, don't be daft.
You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what?
When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have.
What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies?
What did you mean before, Gina, when you said that you were the biggest liar of the lot? What's going on? She's not admitting that she went for a purely altruistic reason, and was not actually a thief and stealing things. But she's being pinned for that crime, so. Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told are? And maybe we can help? Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now. Oh, fun.
Ginny, please.
Oh, yeah. Oh, little kitty! I wanted to give you this. Something to remember me by. Oh? Ha! Failsafe! There we go! I made it so that mods cannot be thrown into the depths. That is correct. I've given the mods a child leash. Oh, you cannot escape me, mods. You are stuck forever. Anyway.
Look at the cute cat.
A photographic print of a really adorable cat. Look at that smiling snowman behind. Found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't no point me having it.
I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in a pocket of that overcoat.
I don't know, they liked cats, I guess. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye.
Oh, Ginny.
The white cat photograph has been entered into the court record. How's that gotta come into play? Okay. Well, thank you for the follow. Shoot. I guess we go to the crime scene? I mean, where else do we go? Will they let a 10-year-old onto the crime scene? Find out now! Actually, will we be let onto the crime scene?
This is where it happened then. Last night.
That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables. Didn't look like they took anything, though.
But apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance.
Well, there's a little bit of, like, broken glass in front of the counter, I guess. Wait! Hold on! That cat is the same cat as... The cat photograph is on the table. On the counter. Why do they have the same cat photograph? No, you're right about that, actually.
In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seems to be the one doing the ransacking.
I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Oh yeah, say this within earshot. That's a great idea. Oi! I heard that. Inspector Siegel! Oh. Inspector, good morning! I suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I thought you'd assigned extra men to the beat around here, Grexy. Now look at what's happened! Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty.
Ah! Your ladyship! No one told me you were coming!
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are tending to him as we speak.
And I don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job.
Oh man, this is what happens when you meet your favorite author and she's a 10-year-old. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. When the 10-year-old is the one that made you famous. The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Uh-huh. How much of that is because of what she just said? Actually, I still think they're gonna suspect Susato. Genuinely. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, where are my manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Oh my god! Perhaps you'd like some juice, some nice refreshing fruit juice.
Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Grexy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me, if you'd like some.
Aw, that's a really cute thermos. Oh, I forgot. All British people are equipped with teacups at all times. Lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. It is, all mods cannot do that. I don't even recognize him like this. Yeah, I can't recognize him without his endless cone of chips. Alright, well, can I look at that photo? Because...
Alright then, let's see what we can uncover.
Oh, I'm not gonna be allowed to investigate. Oi! What do you think you're doing, Sunshine? You can't touch anything in here. Oh, but we were hoping to investigate. This is a crime scene, for Pete's sake. No touching.
What's the problem, Grexy? Runo's a lawyer. You know that.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry, your ladyship. Ever so sorry. The rules and regulations are a thorn in my side. Of course, if Mr. Naruhodo was to have been properly appointed by the accused, that'd be another matter. The accused. If you could show me some representation papers, I'd be only too happy to let you nose around. I mean, she does give him, like, money for letting her use his name in the stories, so... Still can't take his name seriously? I mean, I just call him Inspector Siegel because of the way that he eats his chips, so... It could be worse. It could be Eggert. Eggert Benedict.
Did you hear that, Bruno? You need Ginny to sign some representation papers.
Looks like presenting the detective here with the correct paperwork is the only way. Alright, let's talk to him then. I do want to take a look at that picture on the counter, though. Okay, investigation. Hello. So, how is the investigation going, Inspector?
Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact.
Gina, you're going to charge her?
That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow. Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me!
Your ladyship,
As much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid,
she sees into your soul.
Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you? What the? And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you?
How could you? How?
How could you possibly know that?
Don't crush those poor fries, it's fine, they're endless.
I had a feeling, that's all.
Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. You're already actively keeping a secret from Iris! So, you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you?
Well, yes, they were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat.
And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison.
Should be. We just visited her. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course.
Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? Or what's his condition?
Sorry, not at liberty to divulge that information. The Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinner's. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know. I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy, no visiting at all. Oh. The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood. Oh no! He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so. But a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down.
Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know.
Well, anyway.
Disagreeing?
He's having emergency surgery right now. They gotta stop that bleeding.
You left a known pickpocket in jail within reach of the key and let her keep a grenade launcher? Yeah, you know, the proper way. Absolutely. Definitely.
But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better? Oh, of course, your ladyship. He'll be as right before you know it. Really? How do you know? How do I know? Because of course. Yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why.
Okay, that would maybe work on some other 10-year-old, maybe a 5-year-old. She has a PhD, she's not falling for that. We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again.
Oh dear. Please don't die, Hurley. I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theatre.
Alright, speaking of, what's up with this whole ladyship thing? I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. Imagine being orphaned a second time. Imagine being orphaned a second time without realizing that you were orphaned the first time. Like, that's a little awkward.
Well, out with the sunshine.
Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris.
Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a copper and we don't go in for favoritism. Well, he's right. You do treat us differently. It's because of those Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes stories. That's why.
Okay.
I crop up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson. Well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's.
What did you write about the inspector, Iris?
I don't remember, really.
It was one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it.
Oh, did I write that?
And do you know what that one line did for me, huh? The very next month my pay doubled, I tell you. Oh, that's amazing. All because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the herlock sholmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me.
Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? All it takes is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson, no, the great detective will say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost to worrying about it.
But that would never happen, Gracie.
Every month when the new Rants magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
That's what my D&D group does. Hello, panicking NPC. Take some tea. Lovely. Ta very much. I've really hit the spot, your ladyship. Tea total. Oh, yeah. Something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah? What is it? I got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now. An important message. Wonder what it could be. Sasato has been arrested. I don't know. Are you gonna tell me what this important message is then, Inspector? You left me hanging. Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side, your assistant.
Dear Susie, is she alright?
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. She had to head off. Head off? Where? To Lord Strongard's office, of course. He summoned her. Ah, yes, of course. I had forgotten about that. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we'd finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you that she didn't have a fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there. Speaking of tea, I will also have some tea. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector.
Why did Susie have to go to see the Lord Chief Justice?
She, didn't tell me. But I'd better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Hopefully she hasn't been arrested. Oh my god, I'm really just worried that she's gonna be arrested. Alrighty. We can't lose everybody. Okay. Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. It's probably because of the giant clock face. How many people are we going to meet, be able to meet in prison? We'll find out.
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so? Also, did you read my mind?
I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe it thinks the same about you. Oh? So, everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust.
Yes, thank you very much.
There they are. Susato-san and Lord Strongheart. Huh.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious.
Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. No, why is she being deported? Excuse me? Wait, what did he just say? Your return to your homeland. Susato-san? Excuse me?
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo?
What was all that about? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because she spoke up during a trial. Genuinely, and that's so freaking stupid. She asked permission to speak up. Mr. Naruhodo, thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? Why were you talking about Mrs. Sato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow?
Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial?
You mean she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. Well, this is a little awkward. Also, I'm doing pretty well. Hope that, things get better. Miss Susato, what is all of this about?
Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan.
Yeah, I don't want that either.
Your life here can continue as—
That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no!
Oh, that's actually so much worse. Professor Mikotoba? If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Yeah, the trip is like 40 days if I remember correctly. That's about how long he had to study up anyway. 40 to 50? We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown. And it seems he grows weaker day by day.
I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Susato's departure as much as possible. Well, you are obsessed with time. Yeah, absolutely.
I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning.
I can't believe this is happening. Well, this is awkward. She has saved our bacon like so many times, this might not go well.
So Gina has been charged. She'll have to appear in court?
Yeah, she was formally charged a few hours ago. And the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow.
No, not even 24 hours later?
Gina. Ah, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is without wasting time on these open and shut cases.
It's not wasting time! Ginny would never do something like that!
Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart? In deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. but I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave. Now.
Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their own truths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday? I mean, it probably has to do with McGriddle, McFried.
Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. What happens when the accused isn't even trying to defend themselves? They'll probably lose and be put to death. That's what was said the first time we came here, and I don't doubt that it would stay that way, even though she's literally 15. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me. I thought you kicked us out. Whatever. There's just, one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Which is... it's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her? A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair! Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Do not misunderstand me, young lady. Yeah, she told us. She turned him away. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct to, at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Yeah, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. I thought you kicked us out. What a day. Gina charged with murder. Susato-san about to leave. Sholmes in the hospital. Everyone is just not around. Time to take a 10-year-old as my judicial assistant. Alright. Huh, does that make her the pearl of the situation?
Come, Mr. Naruhodo, Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie... you're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? Oh no.
It's time for mandatory health break. Grab some tea, grab some water, do some stretches. I will be right back. I forgot that there was a magic 8-ball. Genuinely, I forgot that that existed. Ask your father? Weird.
Tea.
'Tis quite nice. Still an ass? Yeah, that's why I'm kind of meandering. Taking my time, pour some more tea. Should mods be allowed to dissolve? I would say no. I don't agree with the 8-ball. The 8-ball is lying to you. The 8-ball gave up. Oh, amazing. Alrighty. Well, back to serious situation. How would that crime have been committed? I guess it's like through the opening, right? But how would she have gotten knocked out? Huh. I don't know. We're gonna have some weird, I don't know, twists in this one.
As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence.
Are you Sei?
My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sato. That's a very pensive look.
I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave.
Poor Iris, everyone she cares about is leaving. Or potentially could leave.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go!
This poor girl. If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can, as a lawyer. Alrighty. Back to jail. At least Sato hasn't been accused of a crime. Maybe that'll be for the next game. Or later. I don't know. Hi, we're back! Hello again, Gina. Yep, there we go again. The fact that you have to reload it tells me that you've used it. How and when and why.
What are you lot here for now?
To have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces, yet again, obviously.
I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I? Look! You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you.
Oh, I think we're back. I'm sorry, the fact that you asked the 8-ball and then the 8-ball said most likely, are you kidding me? Maybe that's what it meant when it said that mod's disintegrating or dissolving or something. It was just dissolve everybody all at once. Oh man, alrighty. Hopefully it's all back. Anyway, how are we gonna convince her?
Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say.
Are we finally gonna tell Iris? What?
I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell.
Huh?
Farewell? Tomorrow, I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear we may never meet again.
Oh. Right.
I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie... Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right, I can't! What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they're so clearly unhappy. Because of you.
Oh, wow! The guilt, okay! I mean... Well, that's one way to get through to a tsundere, I guess.
Oh, what? It's my fault! Yes. So I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Huh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be.
Take the shot. Shoot the shot. Do it. Don't just point it at us.
What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, huh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Is something about that trial? The one, oh my god, it's been 2 months now! The one in which Miss Magnus McGilded was acquitted. The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah. You're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Will you tell us about it now? The trial 2 months ago. Oh boy. Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. I couldn't see a thing, and then I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor. And that's when Mr. McGilded discovered you. Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. Oh, that's so messed up, actually. There weren't much light to see by, but when he looked at me hands, I had the cove's blood all over them. Cove's? I had the cove's blood all over him. Not in the image, but I was so scared I couldn't even speak. You had his blood on your hands. In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Then, Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you how? He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what he was gonna do after the cove was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarper before the coppers showed up. Well, I mean, he's dead now, but yeah, that would be not great. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything.
Also, does she realize that if she isn't defended in this trial, she's gonna be put to death? Like, I don't think she knows that. You said McGilded made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you?
Yes, with Mr. McGilded sitting above your head, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's true, but
it was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting the floor. I let out a little scream, see? I couldn't help it. McGilded heard that and dragged me out by my arm, and that's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer what had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny.
Oh! Oh no! It's all coming together!
A disc?
Do you mean...
Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at Winterbanks.
So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus.
Not for long. McGilded spotted it straight away. He picked it up smartish and stuffed it in his inside pocket.
So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder.
And the bog trotter told me. I weren't to mutter a word of it to no one.
Huh. It's okay, I can't speak today. Or ever, apparently.
'Cause it was so dark under the seat in the cab. I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin.
Presumably, that was McGilded getting on board.
Nah, not only him.
Oh!
'Cause I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilded and the victim.
Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason.
In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed he slept during the carriage ride. He lied!
Yeah, we knew that.
But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it.
He keeps coming back. I keep expecting I never have to do a terrible Irish accent anymore, but he keeps showing up in these flashbacks. And I feel like he's gonna keep showing up, given that it was his disc and all that.
And your own testimony, Gina, supported his. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring.
Yeah, that weren't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time, in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know.
The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. But that still tells us something. Mr. McGilded and the victim knew each other.
So, McGilded was lying, as I suspected. As everyone suspected. I don't think a single person agreed with that verdict, honestly.
I knew it weren't gonna take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So, when the cab came to a stop, McGilded told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. 2 coves from up top ran off to get the coppers.
Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First.
Right. And after they'd gone, McGilded asked the driver to do him a favor.
A favor?
Now then, fella, what I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now, I'll give you 10 guineas.
Wow, this never came up. What? This cab driver is definitely getting fired. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street?
Yep, you got it. It was Windibank's. The coachie snapped up the money and ran off to pop his coat as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGilded opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there. But not without conditions.
I see. Conditions? I'm guessing one of them is to show up to the trial. Because otherwise, I don't think she would have shown up at all. What were McGilded's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean.
Not telling a soul. Not for anything.
About what I saw and what I heard.
And
there was something else as well. There's more. But wait, there's more! Get your corruption today with a little bit of a corruption half off.
Yeah. This is the most important thing, he said. I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. And now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all?
You asked him to go pop your weasel, right?
Aye. The fiend's taken me overcoat to deposit with a pawnbroker hereabouts. And I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right. And I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it till then. Is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it.
All right, then.
And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop, Windibank, so it is, and you're to extend the loan afore the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited and any old fiend could come along and buy it. But I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now, if you go against me.
Yeah, I get it.
Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt.
The coppers?
Aye, they'll come asking you to take the stand in court to testify as a witness. So, let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What it is you might say, and what it is that you won't.
Well, after he'd gone over it all, I piked it. Got as far away from there as I could. He hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So McGilded planned it, and coerced Gina into giving false testimony. I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied. In that big old courtroom. I told some corkers. He McPlanned some McCorruption. Some McLies with his McFries.
The thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more.
That's what he threatened me with.
What a wicked man.
He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together.
So you mean Mr. McGilded would have...
In an heartbeat,
He could have had the lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then where could we have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have no choice.
Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything.
But I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid.
Well, you can make some amends by doing me a simple favor.
A favor? What?
Last time she agreed to a favor, it did not go well. Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial.
Huh?
If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us.
Investigate what?
The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see.
You what? Hurley's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright?
Sholmes is gonna be alright, right? That's why I want to investigate. For Sholmes' sake as much as anything. Right. So, what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy. Is that it? Something like that. Miss Usata?
Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. Aw, she's blushing.
I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing. Aww. I'm guessing visiting hours are over?
Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely.
Alright. We've got our, proof. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Winterbanks now.
Yes, and perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there.
Yeah, I think at the very least we're allowed to investigate. Hopefully she continues to retain us. I don't know. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. She does care, too! She was so concerned about Sholmes, even though she was, like, very sus of him last night. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Was it the shopkeeper that shot him? He did seem very eager to use his gun. The gun that he had was in Gina's hands. So I'm wondering, possibly, if, like, she was trying to keep him from shooting himself. Because, like, that's entirely probable with how he is. I don't know. That was it's a weird personality quirk. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Winterbanks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. It's okay, we have her ladyship with us. He can't afford to be upset. We have the power to cut his salary. Does that make us Edgeworth? Like, that's an Edgeworth-Gumshoe relationship if I remember correctly. Alrighty. More investigation. The lamp... Was the lamp broke? I think the lamp broke when Sholmes was shot? I don't remember. I do remember... Oh, you know what? I do remember that the calendar had blood on it. When did Gina show up? I wish I had that information. No, I don't have it. When did Gina come to the pawnbrokery? Because if it was after midnight... If it was after midnight, then the shopkeep would have already been shot by that point. Because the calendar had blood on it, and he changes the calendar basically at midnight. He said that before. Why do I remember these very specific details when I forget so many other things? Wild. Sholmes being shot. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff happening, admittedly. Here we are again at the scene of the crime. I really hope that Sholmes just shows up inexplicably, like just hanging on a ceiling again. Please. I'm worried about him. Now to thrust these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. Hello, Inspector Siegel. Oh, hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please?
What is it now?
You should go home and get some rest.
Here you are, Gregsy. Here are the representation papers.
Your ladyship! Oh!
I don't believe it. How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragabash to sign that?
I salute you. That is good work, that is. See, I knew he wouldn't rag on us if she was here.
I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue. Fatigue, get it?
Maybe I should drink tea every time he drinks tea. That is a really deep cup of tea.
Ah, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes. I hardly feel tired at all. I'm fit as a fiddle, your ladyship.
Man, I want some tea like that. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime then?
Do as you please.
You know where it happened. Through that door behind the counter. No, but that picture
is very important to me.
Yeah, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Winterbank. And Gina.
Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then.
Will you be investigating in the storeroom as well, Inspector?
If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taken forever. Even with the lads working around the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case the Yard needs to investigate urgently.
If it's the McGriddle one, I'm pretty sure they're connected. Please use more resources on this case. That must be what Lord Stronghart meant by far more serious matters before.
So, what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, sunshine.
Why does he keep calling us sunshine? Oh, Land of the Rising Sun. Okay, I get it.
Come then, let us not waste any time.
The cat. I want to examine the cat. This is so important. And there's the article ledger here and Mr. Winterbank's notes and... What's this? It looks as though someone has left a little photographic print behind.
Oh, look on the back. There's some writing. Is there? Oh, show us, Susie, show us.
There's blood.
15th of February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposited, 1 gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid, £1. Redemption deadline, the 15th of April, 10:30 p.m. A gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1?
Clearly... Oh, that was not her. Gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1? Clearly it was a very fine coat. In fact, I think...
Yes, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday.
And is still wearing, which belonged to McGilded. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph, though.
It seems Mr. Winterbank just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have to hand.
But this photograph of a cat, well, it's in color. It looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently.
Oh, yes, you're right. Very recently. It's this.
I'm so glad that someone is pointing out what the like little thing is, because so many times it's just like, that seems familiar. Guess we'll figure it out later. Iris, I love and appreciate you.
It's the same one, same as the one Ginny gave us earlier.
Of course, I was forgetting that she gave us that print.
Well, what are you waiting for then, Mr. Naruhodo? Get it out!
All right, let the cogs turn. Actually, before that happens, I do want to see... Is there something on the back? There is! Okay, date deposited. 13th of February, 13th of April, 9 p.m. Okay. 1 small box, 10 shillings. Interesting. I'm gonna look at this first. Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it.
13th of February, 9 p.m. Article deposited. 1 small box. Loan amount paid, 10 shillings. Redemption deadline, 13th of April, 9 p.m.
So this photographic print is a redemption ticket.
For an article that was deposited 2 days prior to the incident on the omnibus, it would seem.
Yeah, a small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it?
Perhaps it contains some valuable mementos. I can't help but wondering. Presumably, Mr. McGilded never redeemed the article in question since he still had the ticket, and he is dead. So isn't it possible that the box is still present somewhere in the shop?
Oh, yeah. If it's something McGilded deposited, we need to investigate. Also, they mentioned offhand that there was a second record. This is probably where that record is, and it's the more important one. Honestly, using a cat picture as your redemption ticket is pretty based.
Yes, they are exactly the same.
Spot the difference.
I've got it. These two photographs hide an amazing secret.
A secret? What does she mean?
You must tell us, Iris, at once. Do you really want to know?
Yes, we need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. Okay. So, Iris, about these two photographic prints. Don't just leave me hanging here. The one we found here on Mr. Windibank's counter and the one Gina gave us before. Is there a spot the difference thing going on? Hold on. It is different. Wait. Cause like the shadow under the cat is like there's a little bit more snow in the one on the right. And the cat looks a little mirrored. Like the face direction. What else? Spot the difference. There's nothing different with the snowman. The snowman is static. I think it's just that though. What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these two identical prints? They're not identical, which is odd. This person just likes taking pictures of their cat.
Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the two prints aren't the same. Not exactly.
They're not?
Have another look at them now.
I already see the differences. It is really, really subtle.
Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
Yeah, it's the little shadow thing. I think so. It's very subtle though. And also just, again, the angle of the direction the cat is sitting.
But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the two prints?
They were trying to get the perfect shot. Yeah, there's more. Like, the cat itself is just sitting slightly differently.
Ah, well, it's because they're a set, you see.
No, I don't.
This pair of photographs is meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment.
Oh, right, yeah, those things. Ah, a stereoscope. Why do I feel as though I've heard that word before recently?
Oh, yes, that's what Mr. Sholmes showed us yesterday. Do it, put it in. You see? There it is, just over there.
Oh, yes, of course. That magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch.
Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions.
What? Really? Do you have to go cross-eyed?
Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, wonderful! Then I'll be able to tell you.
Well, she's over the moon. Bless her. Should we let her— Yes! We really need to carry on investigating. No! Let her have this! She's had such a terrible day! Come on!
I, for one, simply have to know.
Just let her have this! You can cross your eyes enough to overlap two pictures. Oh, you do really great with magic eyes then, if you know what those are. You have to go kind of cross-eyed for those to work. It's one of those things that has like the pattern, but there are raised sections of it. If you go cross-eyed, you can see like images. It's pretty neat. If given enough time, I can do it, but like it does kind of hurt a little bit for me.
Have you ever considered, Bruno, how our eyes see depth in the world around us?
Well, I just open them, and it works.
It's because we have 2 eyeballs. But the reason it works is because we have 2 eyes.
Haha! I said it before! I semi-remember my science. My science. 2 eyes, shocking.
If you try closing just 1 eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away what you see with your left eye and what you see with your right eye.
Oh, except for people who have both of your eyes as dominant. My mom has that. And when we were like testing it one day, just out of curiosity, I guess, she was just like, yeah, I don't see a difference at all. And I'm like, that's so unfair. Both of her eyes are dominant. She could use either one. That's not fair. Yeah, I'm cross-dominant, so I get to have the fun thing of having to decide whether my eye gets to be get preferential treatment or my hands get preferential treatment. And that's why I have to use a lefty bow.
Are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye.
Yes, the position of objects seems to shift slightly. Right eye dominant, left hand dominant, but you're right-handed? Oh, I'm so sorry. That sounds kind of terrible.
Exactly. And in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the 2 views into one.
If you have both eyes as dominant and there's barely any difference between the 2, how does that affect your depth perception, I wonder?
That's how we can sense depth in everything we see.
My brain really is amazing, isn't it? It does so much without telling me. Ah, I think I see. So the pair of photographs consist of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right?
Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick.
Guess both are dominant? There's a way to test that a little bit more reliably. Fastest way is if you have someone else, actually. And if you do have someone else, you hold your hands out in like a triangle formation. You make a little hole, and you look at their face from like far away. And whatever eye they see is going to be whichever one is dominant for you. On the other hand, if you want to test it yourself, if I remember correctly, it's like you have to do the triangle thing on an object, and whichever one jumps like significantly more than the other is going to be your less dominant one, or something like that anyway. Yeah, feel free to correct me on that one. Can you tell which method I used? The friend one. So if you can persuade your brain to merge the 2 pictures together in your head, you'd be able to see depth in these prints.
Yes, Bruno, you're beginning to understand.
And a stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that.
Yes, but as long as you have 2 images, 2 eyes, and 1 brain.
Left side is dominant? Thanks for having a VTuber that doesn't move around so you can test it. Well, I'm glad that you guys are figuring it out. And like, you can totally double check, like looking up the method. It's pretty fast to find. It's pretty consistent. People will agree on like how to test for it on your own. There's a video on it on your lecture. Ooh, that's cool. But yeah, fun things to discover. It'll come handy in the future. Weirdly, it does. If you are cross-dominant, like in my case, it's an explanation, a retroactive explanation, for why when I was younger, it's hard for me to aim correctly the first time I throw something. Like, I'm usually off and then I adjust. Because, well, I mean, I didn't know at the time, but I was aiming with the wrong eye. Whoops. I learned that, and then I closed my left eye through a basketball and was very accurate, and I felt a little bit mad. I felt like I'd been cheated. But, Keep going cross-eyed. Oh, no. Well, perfect for magic eyes.
You can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all.
You can? Really? Although I will recommend if you do magic eyes, don't do it on a screen, print it out or something. I did it with screens back in the day. It's really not good for your eyes. Oh, are you gonna shoot us?
Let's try it. Let's see if you can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope.
Oh yes! I'm dying to have a go. Oh, this is how you can tell this was made for the 3DS. Oh my god, that's probably what this was for. This is the 3DS slider. Sato-san really loves this kind of thing.
You need to be able to cross your eyes, that's the main thing. Can you both do that?
I mean, yes, but I don't know if I should be doing this with a screen. Cross my eyes, I think I can.
Watch me, and see if you can copy.
Just the slight drifting.
Make your eyes do this.
Oh god, we're gonna just see everyone doing it.
Alright, let me try.
And just every policeman just looking like, what are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be investigating or something?
Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo?
Ooh. Not as clearly. It's like, Shiji doesn't have as much practice, gotcha. Just gotta cross-eye in the opposite direction, it'll be derpy.
There, how's that? Wonderful, now it's your turn, Runa. The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time.
Not exactly an easy task when two people are staring at you cross-eyed. Also hard to do when you're reading text.
Alright, that's enough practice. Now let's try it looking at the prints.
Can I actually do that if I cross my eyes? Because I don't have a 3DS slider. This is the PC version.
Start by staring at one print and slowly crossing your eyes.
Wait, are these see-through? Hold on, are these see-through images? Can we layer them like this? Is that legal? I thought that they would have to be placed side by side. Oh, no, it's just replicating the effect. Because it knows that it is impossible for us to actually do this. Yeah, okay.
You try it now, Runa.
I'm just going to have to give it a try, I suppose. Imaginary 3DS slider effect. Wow, look at that depth! Amazing! Truly, it's as if I was really there.
Did the print split into two images for you? Now, the next step
The immersion.
is to put the pair of prints side by side like this, and then to try crossing your eyes again.
Wait, let me... Can I do this? It also doesn't help that I'm, like, farsighted, so, I have a little bit of a tougher time. It's just switching and moving a lot. I'm not doing that again.
Is to put the pair of prints side by side like this and then try to... Oh, I already said that. The prints should slowly merge together until...
You know what? They made it work. They did kind of make the effect work even without the slider. Look at my ported 3DS, my very high-def 3DS! Where, with my T, E, F, and G keys, those are definitely on the 3DS. Yeah.
they form a new single image in the center. And delete the other... Oh, yes! Mr. Naruhodo, it works! I can see it in the middle now. It looks so real! Oh, I could look at it all day.
I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt.
Your turn, Reno.
I'm good. What am I using? I am using Steam because this was re-released on Steam. This is it's just how they ported it. Yeah, they had to make do, and that's totally fair. I don't blame them. Cause like, what is it? They had to do that with like every 3DS game that got ported. And I'm sure that have affected some more than others. Honestly, I remember that like 3D effects like usually weren't that good on 3DS anyway. It's why they made the 2DS, to be honest. I will say Kid Icarus Uprising had really, really pretty 3D depth to it in the flying sections. That's like the one that I would like say off the top of my head did it really well.
Pretend you're looking through the two pictures and slowly cross your eyes. Keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle.
Like, this, is it? Oh, he can't do it! F. F to my guy.
There, you managed it. So now you know.
Oh, maybe that was the 3DS slider thing. I'll just pretend that he can't do it.
So now you know how stereoscopic images work. Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. So, what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Runo?
They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly. Never had a DS and 3DS. Oh. I mean, I think that, like, what was it? There are some things about the DS and 3DS that, like, work so much better on the actual system that they're supposed to be on. Like, The World Ends With You, it utilized top and bottom screen gameplay at the same time. It's something that never got carried over when it got ported, which is real unfortunate because it was really neat. You had to play both characters at the same time, essentially. So, there's like that. There's also like, I know that there's like some puzzles and stuff that implemented it. The like DS like sleep feature, or like, you know, both screens, or, you know, the 3D feature as well. There are some really neat things that people have been able to play around with. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't carry over as well, but I also understand it's just like time has passed and you have to port them, and they're not gonna continue to do that. Whoops. I have not played Advance Wars myself. I'm not the best at strategy games. Not exactly the best with like having patience for strategy, because I'm more of a reactive player when it comes to things.
No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we?
It's still there. Yeah, nothing got stolen.
If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here. Then set the pair of photographs in the stand at the back and...
It's still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now.
Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment.
I'm good with crime-solving cases. Good is a... I'm still remembering that first case where I was down to my last penalty. Because I got real caught up with that glass. You press the knob here and everything breaks and you have to pay for it. None of the gameplay would be like, yeah, no, that's entirely valid. I kind of fell off at some point too, because like, I prefer them when they were handheld. I don't know. Something about it called to me more. But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them. But understanding how it works is cool.
But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case.
Stereoscopic pictures. Never even heard of them until yesterday. We've certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually need. The second white cat photograph has been entered into the court record. Am I allowed to, like, also point out that the cat photograph... Oh, you know what? I don't think that this will be entered into the court record. I'll check. This is the ticket that Gina brought in here yesterday.
Yes, having been entrusted to her by Mr. McGilded 2 months earlier. Article deposited, 1 gentleman's overcoat.
And the other redemption ticket was in the pocket of that coat.
Yes, for a small box deposited 2 days before the omnibus incident.
Could that have anything to do with all this? Alright, it's probably so that we can have one that's just the cat. You started around Diamond Pearl Platinum. Oh, my first was like Fire Red Leaf Green, but like Gen 4 was the one that I really like got into. I don't think she has anything else to say. Okay, cool. Let's go back to examining things. That was just the first piece of evidence. I'll have to go back to the table later, but... shovels. I'm sure this will be so useful. Oh, that's not the... That's not what I was looking at, but okay. That ledger that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? Must have been an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items in pawn.
It's too much to think about. Better to sell it all and have a clear head, if you ask me.
But clearly Mr. Windibank was very, very careful when it came to the articles in his care. Oh, Explorers of Sky was so good. It was the bomb. Okay, I don't need to talk to you yet. What else is there for me to look at?
That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Runo?
Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen?
Hey, is this a different song? No, it's the same one. It's the same one.
What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Gregsy to have a word.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. Well, that's fun. Anything else over here?
These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
Yes, it's a really strange miscellany, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example? Who likes horses?
Well, sometimes you can find some real treasures among all the junk, you know? Are you alright, Runo?
Oh, it's just... well... it looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole, but when you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing you owned them. Even that horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever.
Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia was the best. It was so good. Totally worth breaking your DS screen for. Here we go. Stereoscope. This is that strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they're right in front of your eyes. It makes you think. When Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. I don't know how possible it would be to make a Rangers game anymore. Just because, like, you know, the touchscreen and stylus isn't a thing that we use anymore. Yeah, this is a little important, I feel like. Look here.
Oh yes, a bullet hole. And I can see the bullet is still lodged in the wall.
Presumably, Mr. Windibank wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time. Also, there's blood. The Switch is a touchscreen, but no stylus, and I think it'd be a little bit rough to use.
Oh, well... Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that.
Ah, the America way. Sorry.
It's all there in The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, you know? Isn't that right, Iris? Did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps.
In jest? Well, I mean, it did look like he shot some initials onto the wall.
Well, he doesn't do it often. It is quite a dangerous pastime.
It's April 16th and today's December 16th. It's okay, we're just slightly misaligned in the time-space continuum. He doesn't do it often. He shouldn't even do it once.
Forget that for now, Runo. Let's examine this bullet.
What's that around the bullet hole? Blood? Is it blood? No, it's jam. It's just ketchup. Of course it's blood. What else would it be? A suspicious red stain on the calendar. Whatever could it be? You're right. It's Barak Van Zeek's wine that keeps disintegrating. It shows up here instead.
Aha! I may well be able to help with that.
What?
There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Runo?
It senses its own, and it communicates. I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris.
I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see. When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
Ah, you're gonna be testing for blood type, aren't you? Yes, what a scientific observation.
So, you need this.
Oh no, what is that scary looking thing?
Hurley and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Watch!
Ah, luminol testing. Oh god, it's turned into Nickelodeon Gak! It got censored! Oh no! Oh, the color of the bloodstain has changed.
There, does it make sense now?
Well, it makes sense to me. Yeah, I think I'm starting to understand.
Good. It works in the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see.
Yes, how wonderful! Although, if this is like too new of a scientific concept, is it admissible in court?
The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change color. So, you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at, in a flash.
Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris!
Isn't it? Isn't it? I bet Ginny would say it's bleeding great!
So, whose blood are we looking at then? Someone who has green blood. Someone who ate some spinach. Popeye the Sailor Man.
Well, all the chemical does is turn the blood a different color, so... Just find someone whose blood turns the same color and you'll know who it belongs to, in a flash!
Okay, so like, it is incredibly useful. It's more like 2 flashes really, isn't it? Because like, if we have a pre-existing list of suspects or like we already know confirmed the victim and stuff, this is something that we can do to exclude. It's actually incredibly useful. Not great for pinning a specific person, but you know.
One flash or two, this could, well turn out to be a very valuable clue. So we must make a note of it in the court record. Oh.
Okay, speaking of Nickelodeon, advertisement. I'm kidding. I'm gonna go and take a break, get a stretch, and I'll be right back. The gun. Alright, I'll be right back after these messages. I guess I'm a cat now. Hello. Yeah. I wonder what has been happening. Oh well, didn't get to scroll back in time. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. But yeah, welcome back. We are here to analyze more blood. We're gonna shoot more blood with dust. Meow, come back. I see. Alrighty.
Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio.
And add rather than adding? Anyway.
As long as I have reagent left, sure.
Actually, there's a stain on the back of that one photograph, isn't there? I think perhaps we should see if that can tell us anything. That is a very, very good point. Was it this one? No, it was this one. Yes, can I do something with that?
Mr. Naruhodo, I don't know if you've noticed, but there is something rather troubling here.
I have noticed. In fact, he's the one who brought it to my attention again.
The red smear, you mean?
Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wondered if Susato-san had picked up on that. Well, in that case...
Yes, we need Iris.
We should show this to her before we forget. Oh, present it, duh. Oh, but I did need to investigate it. Alright, cool. Now... Is there anything else left? I could probably just talk to them, but they're probably not going to tell me anything. Don't think they have the technology to test, type test dried blood at that point? Well, herlock, sholmes, and Iris are, ahead of their time. Very, very ahead of their time. This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here. Shh! Keep it down! Oh, sorry. There's a major clue just here.
Really? Then we must tell Grexy at once.
But as soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer. Stuck here? What do you mean? I haven't been home in 2 days already. I need another constable to relieve me and take over my shift. They really have a tough time, the British police. Trying to get out of their work.
That doesn't stop us investigating though, does it?
No, I suppose not. Fairly sure it was the calendar he was peering at. Are you telling me that nobody else saw this thing? Really? He's the only one who noticed this thing? Green blood just seems wrong somehow.
Oh, there are all sorts of different colors. There are pretty pinks and purples too, you know? Like I said, everyone's blood is different.
Wonder what color my blood would turn out. Actually, I don't want to know. I'm no, I didn't mean to click that. Ah! Let me go. Free me. Okay. What about this guy? The police are scouring every inch of this place by the look of it. Instructions from the auto to examine every article in the shop and every ledger and book of accounts. Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely. I thought you weren't investigating this hard. We've been on at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours. We're sifting through it all in shifts at least, but still. We'll be working through the night, that's for sure. And even then, we'll barely have scratched the surface. Crime and a pawnbrokers. Must be every policeman's worst nightmare. It's every copper's worst nightmare, you know, a crime and a pawnbrokers. And then there's one more guy. Oh, wait. Oh, you have the same thing to say, actually. Never mind. Sorry, I will stop bothering you. Oh, but I can't skip past it, even though I've technically seen this dialogue before. Ooh, fun. I'm sure someone will make the joke of blue blood being you know, high value, royalty. I don't know. Let me go. Okay, I'm going to give this to Iris.
Oh, that looks like blood.
I would say it's from a gloved finger. Almost certainly a glove made of leather. Ooh, you can just tell that at a glance, huh? I mean, there's no fingerprint on it, so it probably is, like, from a glove.
Well, don't worry, Bruno. You can leave the rest to me. Bam!
What color? Purple! Uh-oh. I feel like that's gonna summon the Five Nights at Freddy's fans. Look at that.
Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, isn't it? We simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point.
Pulls out a knife. Well, this particular stain of blood...
Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you? Do you know whose blood this is?
I think he knows, but I don't. A gloved hand? I mean... Oh, wait. This was in the pocket of the overcoat. McGriddles? Yeah, I have an idea. It was not McGriddle, but like the Mason? Not from the color it turned, but with a little deduction.
That's right. I think it's clear. Iris, you know as well? You first, Bruno. Who do you think it belongs to?
Yeah, it does kind of sound like Dora.
Who do you think the blood from this photographic print belongs to?
Alright, I believe that this is the blood of... I think it's Mason. Because, this was given to... Did he have leather gloves? I think he did. It was his coat, but he wasn't injured, so it would have to be this guy's blood. Thrice-fired Mason. Right?
You didn't sound very sure of yourself the way you trailed off there.
Well, it was 2 months ago now, that case. And of course, I never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice-fired, though.
The victim of the omnibus case? Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago.
Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket- it's weird that it's still red then, but regardless. Gina brought this ticket here to Windibanks yesterday. I'm suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it at that time.
So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago.
Something else is coming back to me now.
Mr. McGilded was also wearing leather gloves that night.
Well, we can't check anymore. It burned up. He got McRoasted. Yeah, Gina didn't have gloves on.
Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
Certainly does look like a leather-gloved thumbprint, this mark. But we know that Mr. McGilded had no injuries at the time anywhere on his body, from which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason.
Mr. Naruhodo, you sound just like Mr. Sholmes!
Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope. Yeah, but he does those for show.
Yes, I think you're right, Bruno. Very well. Let's make a note of this.
Cool. I'm sure they'll definitely accept that in court. I don't think they're gonna accept that in court. Can I go in here? Or do I just stare at the door?
Behind that door is the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Gregsy said.
We do have to look for that lockbox. Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. The shoulder? The shoulder? I'm not crazy, right? Like, a shoulder wound like that wouldn't have been... It wouldn't have been fatal. Surely. He probably was shot from behind, honestly. And I'm pretty sure he got shot in front of the calendar, to be perfectly frank. Mr. Windibank, face down on the floor with Gina beside him.
As the accused's legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Nettlehodel. We must make a thorough investigation.
Yes, of course. And we will. Behind that door, that's the real scene of the crime. I don't know. She's like so unfazed.
Don't worry, if there are clues in there, I'll find them.
She's like very unfazed. Okay, I think I have to click move to go there. Alrighty. Is there a box? There's so many boxes, actually. Oh, and the gun was just left there, huh? Poor Iris. She's clammed up completely.
Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windibank's life was taken in this very room only last night.
Ah! Wait, Inspector? Did you just odd us and leave?
What is it now, Sunshine?
You took one look at me and tried to run away.
You think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped-up little defense lawyer, do ya? I just... well... I've never seen a ladyship looking like that before, is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her.
So you weren't running away from me, you were running away from a 10-year-old going through emotions. That is a box, that is open. Oh my god, is that... Maybe the box was covered in blood this whole time, and we spray it and it turns green.
I'm afraid that this is all a little much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector.
Eh! Congrats. You can deal with emotions now. How will he do?
Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you?
Oh my god, dude. Never mind. There is a right and a wrong. I didn't. Oh, that. If there was a wrong way, that's the wrong way. Oh, dude. Don't. Is she gonna cry now? I don't think that went very well.
Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine, and I told you not to get under my feet. And we have investigating to do ourselves.
Yes. Hey, doesn't one of us want to offer condolences and comfort to the child? I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept... I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say.
Oh, honey.
And inquire into how Mr. Sholmes' operation is going. Sometimes it does in fact hurt to try. Hey, buddy. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Pshaw, you got eyes, haven't you? Use them. It is what it looks like, nothing more, nothing less.
Iris, could you lend me a hand? Sorry about that. I'm just gonna assume that we comforted you off screen.
So, Grixie, what do you make of the crime scene here? Oh, yes, your ladyship. Do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, at shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to the storeroom was found locked from the inside.
So it was locked from the inside.
The lock appears to be broken now, though. Was that the police officer's doing? Quite right, ma'am, quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in as humbly as possible. Oh. As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, thuswise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child.
Oh, don't call her that.
Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector.
Internally, shoot, 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 shoot.
Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was curled up on the floor dead to the world.
She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious.
I'm afraid to say, she had the gun that was used in her hand. No!
Did we, identify the bullets? I don't think ballistics is a thing. Ballistics marking is a thing right now. That didn't come up in the first case at all, at least. I don't know, we'll see. Presumably it's the gun that's still down there on the floor now.
In her pocket, we found the key to the door as well.
What? The key to this storeroom?
And you say the storeroom had been locked from the insides, Inspector? Correct. All of which leaves her ladyship's friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. Obviously, my personal opinion is that it's all some sort of a misunderstanding.
Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. Right, you know what? I'm gonna investigate first. Let's see. Well, yeah. Out of all the articles in the storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked. What is it, Iris?
That's the box file that my manuscript was being kept in!
Oh! Iris's unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Oh shoot, that is not the lockbox from that, little slip. Surely that's not what all this... Yeah, that's probably genuinely the one that she opened.
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. We must check inside the box. At once! Yes.
Is it still in there?
It was there! Iris's story was there!
Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris?
Yes. I mean, of course I believed Hurley when he said he'd deposited here, but still... It's a relief to actually see it.
Really? Because that's not a very well-hidden frown. Iris's manuscript has been entered into the court record. I mean, this is telling her that Gina came to double check on this, so now she thinks it's her fault that Gina got, caught up in all of this, I'm pretty sure. She's smart. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them.
I can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings, look!
Pieces of different people's lives quietly gathering dust in here together. There's something very peaceful about besides the blood, about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policeman shuffling around.
Not much I can do about that, sunshine.
Okay, so I can't look at that. There's a ship. There's a teapot. Am I not allowed to look for this box? I am not allowed to look for this box. Okay. Well, in which case, gun. The case has only just begun. This is a revolver, a real one.
And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Winterbank's life.
How many bullets are in there? Check, 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 check.
What's the matter, Susie? You and Runo look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh.
And I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Winterbank with this yesterday, didn't we? Check how many bullets are in the chamber. I shall have to take my own life! Yeah, it's this fun little quirk. Must be the same gun. Someone's gotta check it. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand.
Mr. Winterbank told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he?
Check it, check it, check it.
Well, it's empty now. Dang it. the one and only bullet he had in his gun had been fired.
So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver. Dang it. Okay. I was really hoping it would have still been in there. The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk line.
Poor Mr. Winterbank. He was a nice old man.
Well, he was shot just once through the heart. The heart? That looked like the shoulder. That's not where the heart is, right? We saw that. It's likely the fella died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. He was not shot through the heart. That was absolutely not the heart. His heart just jumped so hard it went into his shoulder. It was not where the heart is supposed to be. And also, there's no way it was instant because there was blood at the front, yeah? Well, I mean, we're about to see what color blood this is. Or so I assume. This must be his blood then.
Ah!
Do it, do it, do it.
I don't like to ask at such a wretched time, Iris, but I wonder if perhaps... Don't worry, Susie. I'm ready for action. Bam!
Green? What? Oh, shoot!
So, now we know the color the chemical turns when it reacts with Mr. Winterbank's blood.
Well, we found the blue blood. Uh-oh.
And it doesn't match our analysis of the bloodstain we found in the main shop. No, but let's add the sample to the others we've already collected anyway.
Then that means that... If I were to guess, as of right now, I'm guessing that they hold themselves up in the storage room to keep themselves safe from intruders. She shot one of the two people who was in here. Possibly? But then again, why would they have been at the calendar? Is Sherlock dead? I hope not!
He's in the hospital.
Oh, I can look at this again. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have looked at this again. Gina's the perpetrator? No! No, she isn't! Iris?
Don't worry. I'm alright. But we must find the true culprit! Yes, absolutely.
Oh, poor girl. Okay, nothing else in here, which means... Let's talk about how he's doing. Have you heard anything?
Grexy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright, is he?
The thing is,
Don't mince your words, Inspector. Please.
What about the record player? Can't look at it. It's just kind of talking about everything collectively.
You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is... his...
No, the operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well...
Out with it!
Yes, ma'am! They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing, renders the whole body, insensitive. The whole body, anesthetic... I have not seen it used in this particular way. Anesthetized? Where does the stress in this word go? Oh god, is that even possible? It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep. Blah, blah, blah.
Goodness, in the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction.
Anesthetized? Ugh, that just sounds weird in my brain because I just think anesthesia or like... I don't know. The trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing if you follow my meaning. I couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to nod off, or so I hear. Now that the op's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently. Ooh, yeah, that's a problem.
Oh my!
No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in the system or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. Anesthetized. Ah, that sounds better.
But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes round again.
This is why they need to be really careful with their dosage.
Hurley.
The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you. What a surprise. Even in matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way. Ah, humor to cope. Shoot. Well, now what? There's nothing else that we can investigate here. Maybe we can go back to the hospital? Maybe. Maybe we can go back, see how he is? He's not here. Never mind. I guess I kept him on the operating table until he woke up. Shoot, where do I go then? There's nothing I can present to you. Do I have to present things to you? Because there's nothing left. Do you know where this box is? Maybe? Does this help? Inspector, what do you make of this?
Ah, what have we here then? A redemption ticket for an article deposited here, is it?
Okay, unique dialogue.
Looks like someone ran out of office stationery and wrote the ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Yes, this is the ticket for Miss McGilded's overcoat? No, it isn't. The one that little diver turned up with yesterday.
Oh, actually no, it's not.
Really? Think you know better than me, do ya? You have eyes. Read. No, I didn't mean to. Bruno's right, Rexy. It isn't the same ticket.
Of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. I never doubted you, your ladyship.
So, what's all this about then, if I might be so bold as to ask? This is a second ticket.
A second one? Seems that Mr. McGilded, in fact, had another article in storage here at Windibanks.
Is that right? I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, good. Because he's ever so easy to talk to. It's okay, Iris is here. I'm glad that turned out to be what I needed to do, though. This ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilded's overcoat.
Eh? You mean to tell me?
Yes, there was more than just the music box disc, it seems. It's probably another music box disc. Yeah, Iris is really great for getting us information and help from this guy.
I should have just insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examining it properly.
Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilded deposited another article here with Mr. Windibank.
Yes, I can see it written here. A small box, was it? Do you have any idea where it is, Gregsy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGilded. It could be an important clue. Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes all full of hope and expectation. It's too much pressure. I'll lose me marbles, I will. I'll go barking.
This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector.
That's enough sauce from you, Sunshine. There is one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it? Oh, yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months.
So the small box will no longer be in here then? Oh, yeah.
That's right. It's been forfeited.
Should it be in the main room or already sold?
Which means it could be on the shelves in the front of the shop where the forfeited items are offered for sale.
Yes, the shelves in the front. We must search for them at once.
You're wasting your time. Oh! There are dozens of little boxes out there, hundreds even. We can't possibly know which one might have been McGilded's. Information's not written in the ledger. Well, I think we should have a look. At least have a look, just in case. Of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure.
This is getting old. Do you think it was the small portable stereoscope? Oh. Well, that's terrifying.
I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Winterbank set such a wicked trap?
I doubt he set out to scare anyone.
Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon.
Oh?
Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind.
Especially if we tell her that she'll die otherwise, I'm just saying.
Don't you remember, Bruno? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer.
Really? Did I say that?
Yes, you did. The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching.
In that case, we better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. I genuinely feel like it might be the stereoscope, especially because the 2 tickets that he used were the stereoscope set. That's usually a good motivator. Yeah, exactly. Prison. There we go. Hey, how's it going, bestie? How's prison? Oh, 5:41. Yeah, no, prison's nearly closed. Gina, good. Good. Wait, you're back. Back from where? Where would she go?
The police must have finished.
Oh, right. She left to go get questioned. That's right.
The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Ginny? Was it awful?
Oh, it didn't bother me. Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Windibanks.
Oh, right. Don't you want to know how we got on? We've been ever so busy. Do you want to hear how I've been bullying, the inspector? That'd be funny.
What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying. I did it.
It's not...
Gina, we came to ask you for your final decision.
What decision?
About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not?
I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you.
Right, I see. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what that feels like. The worry is just so hard to bear. All right then. Blimey, give it a rest with them eyes, Iris. So, come on then, fill us in. Who done it? Unfortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say.
We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime.
And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish.
Yeah? Like what?
Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Windibanks that night. Looks like I'm going to have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason and thrust it in Gina's face. Or I could present it to her calmly, I suppose. Did we actually take it with us? Alright. We know. We found this in Mr. Windibank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris's latest story. Oh. Right, well, that's good then. Curiously, the storeroom at Windibanks showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night? You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? Why don't you tell us what happened? Please. Let's one by one.
We already have the representation papers and other documents we need.
All we have to do is hand them to the court clerk. That is, if you'll allow me to represent you in court tomorrow. She already said yes, though.
Nah, don't bother.
Oh, never mind. She said no again.
Ginny.
Rip them up and chuck them, would ya? Them representation papers, or whatever they're called.
This cell ain't fancy enough to have a bin.
So, what will you do in court tomorrow?
I'll be fine on my own. I don't think you will be.
Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. This is one stubborn pickpocket. Alright, so we do this one first. I think it really is just she's trying to hide what she did.
Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story. It's the latest sholmes adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right?
I don't believe you.
Oh yes, at least £5,000. What?
So, you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you? No, she didn't.
No, Ginny, how could you? What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I weren't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the manuscript, or whatever you call it, really was there or not.
That's the only reason I was in the place.
For Iris's sake, isn't that right?
We knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did.
But I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it.
When I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you'd said the night before.
Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, the lot of them. You just ain't realised it yet. I'm telling ya, that mental script ain't at Winterbanks. You'd soon see if you had a look.
And that's why she went.
If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Oh, Ginny, that was so sweet of you.
Alright.
I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It weren't because of Iris. It's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth. That's all.
Uh-huh.
You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest. If he'd really deposited the manuscript at Winterbanks.
It's like I told you the night before.
I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She's got a dad, only she can't see him.
Yep, that's all. He's just far away right now.
And I reckon that's gonna be harder.
That's why she writes the stories. About her dad, really.
That's what it sounded like to me, anyway.
Last night, when I was listening to what you were saying.
Stories about Daddy?
You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective, so much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner?
Well,
that's how I see it, yeah.
You're so thoughtful and so kind, Ginny.
Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we?
Look, give it a rest, will ya? I hate all this chummy nonsense. Do you hear? I hate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. Because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarpa.
So the truth comes out. Poor girl. I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat are some very suspicious red stains.
Hey, do you mind if we shoot those? What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. I almost said Ginny.
That's just coffee. Yeah, definitely. It's just some tea.
Can I just present the whole thing? Yes, I can. There's stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet.
What? Blood, Mr. Naruhodo?
You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be blood that spattered from Mr. Windibank when he was shot last night?
Let's not beat around the bush here.
Oh man, she's not gonna react well to having a gun pointed at her.
This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else.
Take it easy, Iris. Bam!
Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot.
Whoa, that's a lot of blood. It's not on her. Huh? Wait. Why isn't it on the rest of her clothes? Or her bag? It's just the coat. That's really weird.
Oh. Oh my.
What the? Well, now she looks like she's been in Splatoon. It's also not on her skin or anything either. I would assume it would show up there. Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black color of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now. And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color,
Which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly.
and it ain't Windibank's. It'd be whoever was at the calendar, and where that one bullet was shot.
Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Aha! Yes, it was the brickmaster, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago.
Oh right, no, it was on the paper. Pfft, whoops, that one was Nickelodeon gag. I knew it.
What are you all on about? The victim? What do you mean?
Thrice fired Mason.
It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed.
Oi! Would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story! McGill did the deed. He McDid it. We can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilded's overcoat.
But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony.
He keeps coming back.
Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
Oh, wait. This wasn't his coat, was it? This was Mason's coat. But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from McGilded trying to pull the victim to his feet.
No, if that was what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat.
And heck, even if you stabbed someone or shot someone from that distance, it wouldn't leave that big of a stain. The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over Mr. Oh, okay, that too. I mean, there's a chance that it. Okay, we'll see. Is that it splattered over over McGilded's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach? Would I make that much of a blood splatter? I mean, I guess if he hit like a very, very Maybe I guess he was stabbed multiple times. Maybe that's it. Tried to run from the truth for long enough. Hit a very major artery. But there's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilded.
Mr. Naruhodo?
That horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen?
Bruno, did you believe him, though? Did you believe Mr. McGilded was innocent?
I believed, or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon.
A weapon?
Only stabbed once in the stomach, huh? Yeah, I really do think that that coat might have belonged to Mason. But, I don't know. Was he too tall for the coat? Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson.
You mean Kazuma-sama?
Listen, Drunosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief? Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly. I miss him. What's funny, Gina? Cool. Sounds like in this Empire Japan you come from, everyone must be soft.
Well, come on. Look at the mess it's got you into. Believing in that bog trotter.
Yes, I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free. But honestly, that was just a Baron Van Zeke skill issue. Anyway.
Well, at least you've learned your lesson now, huh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you on the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you've had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one. Get hurt by no one. Gina, may I ask you something?
What?
I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Are you really sure that's what you want? I bet that's what he wants and all now. Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I?
You really just want us to hate you. You're sabotaging yourself. Oh.
And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. Well, Mr. Naruhodo?
A lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust. Yes, I am going to trust her! She's just putting up a front. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial.
Huh? Are you half-baked?
Not at all. I am fully baked. Anyway, you've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? Yeah, it's always been other people believe you did it. What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth.
Seriously, Mr. Narrow-Ado.
Narrow-Ado?
Didn't you hear all of what I said before?
Oh my gosh, bleh.
I'm a born liar. Fibs just trip off my tongue. And I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it. Gina. I do understand why you choose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to this life than you yet realize. What do you mean? The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down. Huh?
It's true that I'm just a student of law, and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I am completely on your side. One Gina always tells the truth, and the other Gina always lies.
What do you expect me to say to that? Then it's decided. I will take these papers now and to carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now, after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Do what you like. You Eastern law, I don't know what you are. I don't get you. I don't get you. Aww.
Gina's taken herself off to the back of her cell. She'd never admit it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out all right in the end, I think. We do have a 100% win rate. Although I think we're about to retroactively... flip one of those.
Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice.
Is it Sholmes? Is it Sholmes? Is he here? Is he okay? Please don't flip him, he's just went through surgery. Miss Susato?
Somebody is there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before.
What? Sholmes? 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 Never mind, it is not. I don't think that's how he talks. Blimey, you're sharp, eh? Oh, hi! Inspector Siegel!
I suppose you were using one of those mystic Japanese arts, like the art of stealth I've heard so much about.
If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector.
Grexy!
Oh dear me, I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you.
How long have you been listening in on our conversation? Good grief, listening in? No. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave, even though it was after hours.
I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute, not a moment earlier.
That's all it is, nothing untoward, nothing at all.
After hours? Is it that late already?
So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best, bye-bye, and bye!
That is a lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriate for her ladyship.
Oh, but I wanted to have a chat. I'm terribly sorry, but time's pressing at the minute. Oh, I see. That's a shame. If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, Lord Strongheart will, emergency?
Lord Strongheart?
Nothing, forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off. All right, Grexy. If you have to, let's chat soon. Delighted, charmed, can't wait. If you please, my pleasure.
That is a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere. Well, that was fun.
Grexy's so funny. He says such silly things.
It's certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court. Another fire!
I must attend the court clerk's office now before it closes.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Mrs. Sato.
Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later.
Is she gonna be in court with us? 'Cause she's going home. And so our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving. Leaving Great Britain and making her way back to Japan.
Naruhodo-san? It's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted.
What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes, Gina was arrested. All in the back of the news that her father has fallen ill and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon.
Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm. And yet, I seem unable to find the words to express any of them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow.
One final task?
It's just 2 months since we arrived in London. But we've managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret.
I'm so sorry, Susato-san.
It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts.
I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something.
And what would that be?
It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities.
Facets?
And like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. Oh, this is how you can tell that he's an English major. But we see only a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on for as long as we live.
That's so true, bestie.
I'm sorry, I had to! Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much. But I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. That all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together.
Naruhodo-san.
I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open. And keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark.
It's amazing to think it's been just 2 months. You've grown so much.
Sorry, I've what?
Oh, no, it was nothing. Unimportant. You had a character arc.
Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning?
Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 a.m.
Poof, that is pretty early. I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station.
Absolutely not.
Sorry?
I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow.
Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but...
Every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try.
You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean?
Oh, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this.
What is that? Some huge bundle of documents.
It's my notes. From the case 2 months ago. Wow, that's a lot of notes about that case. The murder that was committed on the omnibus.
The McGilded case.
It seems to me that this case of Mr. Windibank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you.
With everything else she's had to think about, Susato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting.
It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina.
Thank you so much, Susato-san. I will do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure.
Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there.
Oh, ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself.
No, call her out on that. She is amazing. She's helped us through so many scrapes. If it weren't for her, we would have lost like 10 times over.
Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room.
Susato-san,
I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night.
Oh... Wait, there's something else I have to... Well... What was that?
A secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown.
Well, shut down.
Please, I implore you.
Are we getting knocked out? Things are getting blurry.
If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears.
Oh. Also, I think she just gave him a concussion, but oh. Susato-san. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically, and mentally, I was exhausted. And yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes. And as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. When we wake up, she will have left. It's pretty sad. Oh. The small hours? St. Sinners Hospital, Ward 3. That's where Sholmes should be. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. Who's saying this? There he is! Yay! Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Is that Susato-san? Maybe? Thank you so much. Ooh, it's probably Susato. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. She's getting us back up. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. Yep, yes it was, my dear madam. Oh, she's really helping us as much as she can. It's really touching. We love Susato in this house, even though she gives us head trauma. The head trauma is worth it. She mostly has the brain cells enough to, you know, for us, possibly. But I do believe that that actually is a perfect spot to wrap up for today. So, on Wednesday, we will be continuing with the trial. Oh, part 1. Oh boy, how many parts to this trial are there? Let's find out. Probably like 3 or 4. Oh boy. I can't wait for all of the twists to happen, and it'll be like, oh yeah, the glass from the first case is part of this somehow. I don't know. Oh, right. We still, like, okay, because, like, it's gotta wrap up, like, everything, right? So, like, it's the whole, like, McGriddle thing, but also, that lady from the first trial and how she got away with things and also murdered Iris's dad? Like, that's gotta have something to do with things. Same with the Hound of the Baskervilles, and same with, like, Eggert Benedict, which I assume is one of the 2 people who went into the, in there. Oh my god, do you think the other person is Swan Lady? Man, I'm pretty... Not my crack theory, my board of red string, it is getting larger. But it's all gotta be connected. It has to be. Right? Possibly? But anyway, crack theories aside, we'll see how right I am. The Magic 8 Ball says most likely. Aha! Oh wait, no, that's for the 1. Oh, sorry. I just took that as my own. Well, let me just, not too many people online right now, but you know who is? Emily is. So we can go and raid her. It did not work. Well, most likely does not mean that it is 100%, you know? But yeah. Emily, fellow voice actor, if you are not already aware. Yep, playing solo Leveling Her Eyes. I believe that she does voice in that. Ending screen, you're absolutely right. Thank you for reminding me. I totally continue to forget things. And yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday for more of this. I can't wait to finish the game and see what happens. Hey. So, so much appreciated. 8-Ball is evil and a liar. Well, we'll stop engaging with 8-Ball. But yeah. E. I think that is it for today. I've said all I want to say. So, therefore, yeah. Have a good one, you guys. The ball can say ha 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 no. Amazing. But yeah, have a good one. I'll see you on Wednesday. Same time, same place. No bats involved, unfortunately.